Table of Contents Chapter 1, 3 Chapter 2, 11 Chapter 3 15 Chapter 4 19 Chapter 5 23 Chapter 6 26 Chapter 7 30 Chapter 8, 34 Chapter 9, 38 Chapter 10 42 Chapter 11 45 Chapter 12 48 Chapter 13, 52 The Epilogue, The Echo of Courage 58 Chapter 1, A girl named Heini once lived in an affluent household in Paro, Bhutan. Life appeared perfect until tragedy came and took her mother's life, leaving a grieving father and 2 young children in her wake. From the outset, Heini and her mother developed a close relationship. Heini slept in her parents' bed during those formative years, enjoying the warmth and security of their embrace. It was a treasured custom that cultivated their personal bond. Heini's parents didn't decide it was appropriate for her to have her own space until she was 7 years old. But even as they got used to their new sleeping arrangements, Heini and her mother's love and bond never wavered. The untimely death of Heini's mother brought tragedy to her family. Her father struggled to deal with the overwhelming grief after the loss, which was a severe blow to him. He turned to booze as an escape when he was overcome with grief and had to face his own issues. Heini and her siblings were left to face the burden of both their mother's absence and their father's emotional estrangement, since their once loving and attentive father became distracted by his drinking problems. Darkness descended upon Heini's world, and the weight of her mother's absence grew intolerable. Heini's mental health suffered as she battled intense sadness and the demands of raising her siblings by herself. As she struggled with her inner demons and tried to flee the anguish through desperate behaviors, she found herself in and out of mental facilities. Heini made a brave choice when she was just 14 years old. She dropped out of school to maintain herself and her siblings' secret from her father. She obtained employment as a seamstress, expertly making clothes while saving every dollar she was paid. She fled her childhood home in the darkness because sometimes the way we plan things out doesn't work out. Heini ran away from her abusive father, who was also her biological father, in order to protect herself. He made sexual advances toward her and found shelter with an elderly widow named Hona, who had grown to be a beloved friend and confidant. Heini found an old sewing machine in Hona's modest home. She started making clothing for her kids, putting her heart and herself into every stitch to build a brighter future. When their neighbors noticed the quality and craftsmanship, the small-scale operation quickly expanded, with Heini and Hona at the forefront. Heini couldn't help but think back on her journey thus far as she and Hona sat in their comfortable workshop one evening, surrounded by vibrant fabrics and the hum of the sewing machine. She turned to Hona with a grateful smile. "I can't believe how far we've come, Hona." From the depths of despair to building a thriving business together. With pride in her eyes, Hona nodded. "Your skill in clothing design is a blessing, and it has brought hope and happiness to your siblings and our entire community. My dear Heini, you've shown great courage and resilience." Heini focused on the gorgeous outfit she had just finished, embroidered in minute detail. She admitted, "I put my heart into every piece I make. Each stitch is a thread of hope, stitching a better future for all of us." Hona gave Heini's hand a gentle pat. "They notice your talent, but more importantly, they see the strength of your spirit. Your passion and commitment shine through in your work, my darling, and the support we've received from the community is a witness to that." Heini's expression changed to one of thankfulness and resolve. "I want to keep growing, Hona. Not just for myself but for everyone who has believed in me. I want to expand our business, employ more people from the community, and give back in any way I can." Hona nodded, her eyes glistening with eagerness. We can do anything with your perseverance and our community's steadfast support, so let's keep stitching the threads of hope together, one stitch at a time. You have a heart of gold, Heaney. As word of Heaney's gift grew, her father started an endless hunt for her, motivated by worry and regret over his previous deeds. The close-knit group of neighbors came together to defend Heaney from her father's grasp and provide safety in the haven they had built. Over time, Heaney's kids grew up in the supportive setting of their mother's company. Heaney was brave and quit her job. She employed 4 women, including her close friend Hona, to run and grow the company. In the meantime, Heaney's girls were an essential part of the family business, modeling the garments and getting involved in the day-to-day activities. The kids became young adults, developed romantic relationships, and married. Heaney asked her daughters to continue modeling and helping in the family business to preserve their relationship and shared aspirations. However, when she saw bruises on her kids' arms, her maternal instincts warned her that something was wrong. Heaney's girls clung to her, their eyes filled with anguish and resolve as the gentle breeze rustled the leaves in the graveyard. They had seen their mother's steadfast courage and fierce love for them. Speaking trembling, one daughter said, "Mother, we never imagined our lives would take such a dark turn. But seeing you stand up for us, we now understand the true meaning of courage and resilience." Heaney drew her daughters in closer as she spoke with renewed purpose. "No one has the right to injure you, and together we will ensure that our company becomes a sanctuary for all women, a place where they can find refuge and empowerment. My darlings, you are not defined by the agony you've undergone." By their sides, Hona continued, "We will create a haven where dreams are nurtured, talents are celebrated, and no one will suffer in silence. Together, we will build a legacy of strength and love." Heaney's daughters nodded, tears in their eyes, thankful to have such a great support system. They were aware that their voyage would not be simple, but they were also aware of their companionship. They had each other and the knowledge and direction of their mothers, who had gone through their struggles and triumphed. A sense of purpose filled their souls as they walked hand in hand away from the cemetery. They knew their next steps would be complicated, but they were adamant about turning their suffering into strength and their tears into victory. Heaney, her daughters, and Hona worked tirelessly to grow their company in the following days. They turned it into a sanctuary for women who had experienced violence and misery, providing exquisitely crafted garments and a secure setting for recovery and personal development. Heaney confided in her body, overwhelmed with uncertainties and expressing anguish and distress. Hona advised they go to a specific location where they may find courage and clarity because she understood how it felt. Hona, Heaney, and her daughters set out toward the graveyard with a common goal. Hona approached her late husband's grave, asking for his still advice. Heaney led her girls to her mother's final burial place while guiding them herself. Heaney sobbed softly as she let her tears fall, placing her palm on the gravestone and saying, "It's been too long. I've missed you." Chapter 2. Years passed, and Heaney's company prospered thanks to the skilled labor of the ladies she had hired. The apparel company extended its market, becoming well known in its neighborhood and outside Paro. Heaney's daughters, now mature, self-reliant women, continued to play a vital role in the company, taking on senior positions and assuring its expansion. As their business prospered, Heaney could not escape the residual effects of her background. She had created a new life for herself, full of love and meaning, but deep inside, the scars left by her father's deception still tormented her. She made a choice that would once more alter the path of her tale in search of atonement and closure. Hini's thoughts returned to her youth and the suffering she had experienced as she strolled around the small village. She went to the tiny home her father had lived in solitude, hidden among the rolling hills. She inhaled deeply before rapping on the worn-out wooden door. An older man with drained eyes with flashes of regret was revealed when the door squeaked open. Hini's heart trembled as she struggled to reconcile the agony of the past with a glimmer of hope for peace. She said, "Father," with a mix of fragility and longing. "My name is Hini." Her father's surprised and disbelieving gaze expanded. His voice quivered a mixture of regret and longing. "Hini. Is it you?" Hini nodded while her eyes began to flood up with tears. "I've come looking for understanding, forgiveness, and a chance to mend the wounds that have plagued us for so long, so yes, Father, it's me." Her father's face softened, and he moved aside to invite her to his modest home. The weight of their shared history hung in the air as they sat quietly for a while. Speaking in a voice that was equally filled with anguish and resolve, Hini plucked up the fortitude to do so. "I want to comprehend your path, your hardships, and the decisions you took. Please help me understand. Father, I've carried the scars of your absence, the abuse and the weight of our broken connection for years. But I also recognize that suffering has a way of clouding our understanding." As he started to talk, her father's voice wavered, and his eyes began to well up with tears. "After your mother passed away, I was overcome with grief and unable to handle the burden of raising you and your siblings alone. I cut myself off from the outside world, drowning in my grief and unable to give you the love and support you deserved. I got into the sins so bad that I even abused you during my drunken state. All the past years, I have been in this strong guilt. Hini, I cannot express my regret for the hurt I caused you and your siblings." Hini listened as a mixture of pain and sympathy tore at her heart. Amid their agony, she saw that their paths had crossed, but they responded differently because they were each locked in a distinct despair-filled universe. Hini stretched out with a shaking hand and caressed her father's worn-out hand as tears flowed down her face. "It's time to let go, to forgive ourselves and each other. We cannot undo the past, but we can choose to heal, to create a new link based on compassion and understanding. Father, we've both carried our burdens for far too long." When her father looked at her, a glimmer of hope could be seen through his worn-out eyes. "Hini asked me, can you find it in your heart to forgive me and give us a second chance?" Hini shook her head and smiled softly. "I choose to let go of the hurt and welcome the prospect of healing. Father, forgiveness is a journey, we will begin it together. Let us start over, building a bridge between our hearts and weaving a tapestry of love and forgiveness." Hini set out on a quest to make peace with her father's memory, to comprehend the extent of his suffering and how it contributed to their strained relationship. She set out towards the remote village where her father had lived out his final years in search of comfort in the stillness of the mountains. Chapter 3 Hini discovered an aspect of her father she had never known in the isolated village. She found his deep sorrow over her mother's death and the crushing guilt that tormented him through chats with the villagers. In his lowest points, he had carried the weight of his deeds, lamenting how he had treated his daughter. Hini was deeply moved by this realization and decided to forgive her father. She could relate to his desperation on a profound level and saw how their joint suffering had affected both of their lives. She gained a more profound empathy in this isolated community, making a bittersweet connection with her father's tormented spirit. "Hini, Father, I discovered an old journal in your possessions. It made many of your struggles and love for my mother and me clear. I was unaware of the extent of your suffering and shame." Father, startled, "Oh, Hini. Never did I want you to be aware. I've carried that weight for a very long time, and I've always regretted it. Heaney, father, it's all right. Having read your journal, I could understand. Here in this village, I've gained a fresh appreciation for empathy. We both experienced pain, and it influenced the way we lived. I'm sorry, and I want us to get well together. Father, Heaney, my dear daughter, I can't begin to tell you how appreciative I am of your forgiveness. I had no idea what to anticipate. I'm grateful that you understood the suffering I had through and had mercy on me. Indeed, let's get better together. Heaney, father, the locals have told me stories about your profound sorrow and regret. I was never aware of how miserable you were. Father, Heaney, I've always felt guilty and regretful about treating you at my lowest points. Although I can't undo the past, I have tried to find forgiveness. Heaney, father, I get it. My realization that we are all connected by our suffering came to me while I was here, surrounded by the village and its calm. I've established a sour-sweet link with your tormented spirit. I'm sorry, and want us to be at peace with one another. Father, oh, Heaney, overcome with emotion. Your remarks have an impact on me. I never anticipated asking for your forgiveness. I appreciate your compassion and openness to my healing process. My dear daughter, let's work together to achieve peace. Heaney, father, I found an aspect of you in your old notebook that I had never known. I had no idea how hard it was for you or how much you cared for Mom and me. Father, Heaney, I thought I had locked those feelings behind. I'm surprised. I never intended for you to see the suffering I endured. Heaney, as I read your journal, I became aware of the burden you had been carrying. I discovered compassion and forgiveness in this isolated village. Father, you have my complete forgiveness. Our mutual suffering has molded us both. Touched and elated, Father, Heaney, my daughter, words cannot explain how much I appreciate this. That guilt has been inside of me for far too long. I appreciate your patience and forgiveness. In this hamlet that has brought us closer, we may begin again. Heaney found an old journal hidden away in her father's possessions as she immersed herself in the peaceful surroundings of the town. His tribulations, his efforts to find redemption, and his unwavering love for Heaney and her mother were intimately detailed in the pages. Chapter 4 Heaney returned to her family and company with her newfound knowledge and her heart overflowing with forgiveness. She collected her daughters and relayed her experience, telling them about the insights that had changed how she saw her father. Together, they decided to pay tribute to his memory and the principles he had imparted, promising to create a future characterized by compassion, love, and resiliency. The firm prospered as their combined dedication to one another and their clients grew. Heaney's daughters took on their responsibilities with fresh vigor after being moved by their mother's experience and used their platform to promote mental health awareness and women's empowerment. Heaney, girls, congregate here. I want to tell you something crucial. During my stay in the community, I got to know a side of your grandfather I had no idea existed. His profound sorrow and shame altered my viewpoint. First daughter, what are you saying, Mom? What did you learn? Heaney, in his old notebook, which I discovered, he wrote heartfelt entries about his hardships, his love for us, and his abiding regret. It helped me understand the strength of forgiveness. We should pay tribute to his memory and the lessons he imparted to us now that I've forgiven him. Daughter 2, wow, Mom, that's amazing. I'm very happy for you that you were able to find forgiveness in your heart. What can we do in his honor? Heaney, we may demonstrate compassion, resiliency, and forgiveness in whatever we do. Together, let's create a future that upholds those principles, not just for our family but also for our company. We have a chance to influence things for the better. First daughter, Mom, I'm in awe of the adventure you've taken. Your newfound capacity for forgiving and comprehension inspires me. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweetheart. I'm happy that my journey has moved you. We now have the chance to leverage our corporate platform for the greater good. Daughter number 2, yes, Mom. As you did in the village, we can promote women's empowerment and mental health awareness. We can change things. That is precisely what I had in mind, Heaney. Success for us shouldn't simply be about making money but also about leveraging our power to effect change for the better. Let's band together to spread the word and help people in need. First daughter, Mom, something unique has happened to us. A well-known worldwide fashion designer has offered to work with us on a project. Heaney, wow, what fantastic news. Explain further. Daughter 2, it's a chance to introduce the world to the distinctive beauty of Bhutanese culture and artistry. This partnership will not only strengthen our brand but also provide us with the opportunity to express ourselves. Heaney, I'm ecstatic. This is the ideal opportunity to promote our cultural history while also upholding our dedication to forgiveness, love, and resilience. Let's take advantage of this chance to leave a lasting impression. In their triumph, a wonderful possibility to work with a renowned, global fashion designer presented itself. Through this partnership, they were able to expose the distinctive beauty of Bhutanese culture and artistry to the world while also elevating their brand. Chapter 5 Heaney's company kept growing, inspiring aspiring business owners and standing as a testament to women's tenacity worldwide. A beacon of hope, her legacy reminded others that even the most difficult situations may give rise to strength. Heaney's daughters, who were by this time married to devoted spouses of their choosing, carried the torch of their mother's ideals with each passing year. They further developed the company by implementing sustainable methods and charitable endeavors, ensuring that their prosperity benefited themselves and their neighborhood. Later, Heaney's granddaughters joined the company, bringing their youthful energy and inventiveness to it and ready to carry on their family's tradition. They incorporated their chapters into the tapestry of triumph over adversity while paying homage to the tales of their great-grandmother and grandmother. Heaney, my daughters, look at what our company has developed into. We've come so very, very far. Daughter 1, Mom, your fortitude and vision have inspired us all. Not only have we succeeded, but we've also come to represent hope for all women. Daughter 2, it is real. Our legacy has impacted many lives. We've demonstrated that even the most hopeless situations may lead to strength. Heaney, every single one of you makes me proud. Together, we've shown that we can face any challenge and leave a lasting legacy that inspires others. Daughter 1, Mom, I'm amazed at how our business keeps growing and changing as the years go by. Heaney, everything is because of your commitment and the shared vision. We have increased our efforts, incorporating charity and sustainable practices to ensure our success helps us and the community. Second daughter, yes, Mom, making a difference and giving back is crucial. Our accomplishments ought to spur change. Heaney, I had precisely that in mind. I appreciate how you guys have embraced our cherished ideals and made a difference thus far. One of my children told my mother, Mom, can you believe our granddaughters are now working here? They bring such new energy and ideas. Heaney, seeing kids uphold our family's legacy makes me happy. They exemplify the resilient and inventive attitude passed down through the ages. Daughter 2, just like we did, they are adding their chapters to the fabric of triumph over adversity. I can't wait to watch how they influence our company's future. Heaney, I agree. They will honor the tales of their grandmother and great-grandmother while forging their unique way, I am confident as our journey continues. We will maintain the light of redemption and hope together. Heaney's family's story is thus a monument to the human spirit's tenacity, the strength of forgiveness, and the enduring strength found in the ties of love and friendship. It serves as a testament that even in the face of gloom, the strands of hope and redemption may weave an enduring tapestry of victory. Chapter 6 A.M. Thread from a very bitter and terrible memory from the past that had been buried in Heaney's heart was still present in the tapestry of victory. Despite her best efforts to move on and find comfort, a part of her was still plagued by a terrible incident that had damaged her soul. Heaney discovered herself overwhelmed in a flood of memories one stormy night as the winds howled and the rain fell non-stop. She had attempted to forget the incident because it had destroyed her trust in her loved ones and her innocence. Heaney, lost in thought, gazing out the window, this storm. It makes me think of that evening, the evening when everything changed. First daughter, Mom, are you all right? You appear to be deep in thinking. Heaney, taking a big breath, there's something I've tried to forget and kept hidden deep inside me. But tonight's storm has brought back those memories, and they haunt me. Daughter 2, you can share with us, Mom. We are at your service. It was a night of darkness and suffering for Heaney, ruining her innocence and faith in the people she loved. I have carried this load alone for so long, but I can no longer do so. I need your understanding and support. First daughter, we're here for you, Mom. Whatever occurs, we will pay attention and be there for you. You're not left to bear this weight by yourself any longer. Heaney sighs, the storm outside reflects the storm I'm going through. It makes me think of that crucial evening. First daughter, you seem concerned, Mom. Do you have any nagging issues? Heaney, crying, there's a memory that's been bothering me for years that I've tried to bury deep inside. However, this storm stirs things up, making me unable to flee. Daughter 2, you don't have to handle everything alone, Mom. Whatever it may be, we are always here for you. Heaney, with trembling voice, that evening. It destroyed my sense of security and confidence. I can't explain how it scared me, but it did. I've kept this pain to myself, but now I need your strength. I have to face it and get relief. Daughter 1, Mom, we love you, and I'll be here for you while you go through this healing process. You no longer need to go through it alone. We're always available. Heaney, as the storm gets stronger, this storm. It brings back long-suppressed memories of a night when everything was different. One daughter says, Mom, you seem distant. Do you have something you'd like to share with us? Heaney, a sad memory has followed me around, it ruined my innocence and left me with lasting wounds. Even though I've tried to forget this storm, it all comes flooding back. Daughter number 2, we're here for you, Mom. You don't need to bear this weight by yourself. We serve as your auxiliary. Heaney, that night, with tears running down her face. I had something stolen from me. My faith in the people I held dear was destroyed. I've struggled to find comfort, but I'm at a point where I can't anymore. I need your compassion and kindness. Daughter 1, Mom, we'll go along for the journey. We'll be there to support you as you recover. We'll find comfort and strength in one another and make sure that you're never alone in dealing with these memories. Chapter 7. Heaney confided in Hona, a friend and confidant she had known her entire life since she could no longer take the burden of the past. She described the terrifying night as tears streamed down her face, disclosing the secret she had kept for so long. Hona listened closely and offered steadfast support while her eyes were filled with sympathy and grief. Heaney and Hona agreed to work together to confront the ghosts of the past and seek retribution. They set out on a quest to learn the truth, to put the past behind them and provide Heaney with closure and healing. To make sure that the shadows from Heaney's past would not go unnoticed or unpunished, Heaney and Hona sought legal counsel and spoke with the appropriate authorities. Painful recollections surfaced as the legal procedure progressed, and the scars concealed for far too long came into the harsh light of the truth. Heaney found the trial to be a trying and taxing experience, but she persisted with the help of Hona, her daughters, and the steadfast fortitude she had developed over the years. Heaney's voice soared above the shadows of her past to demand justice and end the suffering that had followed her for so long in the courtroom, which turned into a battleground. Heaney developed the fortitude to confront her demons during the arduous process of pursuing justice. As the offender was held accountable for his conduct, the verdict provided a feeling of vindication. Proper recovery, though, would take time. Heaney, after a long and challenging journey, I finally summoned the courage to confront my demons and seek retribution. Mom, we're incredibly proud of you, says daughter 1. Throughout the entire process, you have exhibited extraordinary bravery. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweetheart. Although I felt vindicated after the verdict, I realize that genuine healing will take time. Daughter 2, Mom, no, we're with you all the way. You are not by yourself in this. Heaney, I appreciate your steadfast support. I'm committed to recovering my light and restoring my life with the help of counseling, self-care, and our family's love. We'll find healing and build a better future together. Daughter 1, Mom, I can see the improvement in your healing process. You have gotten so much stronger. Heaney, rebuilding my life hasn't been simple, but with the help of our family and counseling, I'm making progress. I'm taking back the happiness that the darkness had stolen from me. Second daughter, Mom, we're here for you. This procedure isn't happening just to you. We'll keep offering a supportive and compassionate setting for your recovery. Heaney, I appreciate all of your love and compassion. I've realized how crucial it is to care for myself and promote my well-being. Together, we'll keep healing and building a future based on light and love. Heaney, this journey of healing has been a life-altering one. I'm finally taking back control of my life from the shadows of the past. Daughter 1, Mom, your tenacity and perseverance have been very admirable. You've demonstrated the value of looking out for our well-being. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweetheart. My recovery has largely been facilitated by therapy. It's taught me to prioritize my health and seek comfort in our family's arms. Daughter 2, we're here for you always, Mom. We'll continue strengthening our family ties and establish a healing environment together. Heaney, I appreciate your steadfast support. We will continue to reconstruct our lives and build a future that shines brighter than ever with time, love, and self-care. Heaney started to reconstruct her life with the help of her loved ones, counseling, and the passage of time, determined to recapture the brightness obscured by darkness. She fully committed to her recovery, practicing self-care, going to therapy, and finding comfort in her family's protective embrace. Chapter 8, Heaney's life radiated with a renewed sense of purpose as the scars from the past began to heal. She developed into a supporter of trauma survivors, telling others about her experience and giving them encouragement. She found comfort in using her struggle as a light of hope for others through public speaking engagements and partnerships with organizations dedicated to recovery. Heaney's company kept growing under the direction of the resilience and empowerment tenets. It developed into a forum for educating people on the effects of trauma on people and communities, and a percentage of its earnings went toward aiding trauma survivors. Despite her victories and recovery, Heaney often faced unforeseen difficulties in life. New challenges started to appear, putting her resiliency to the test again just as she felt she had conquered her past. A financial setback was one of these difficulties. Heaney's company was impacted by a severe economic slump that significantly reduced revenues and put the company's future in jeopardy. She struggled with the anxiety of losing everything she had worked so hard to achieve while carrying a heavy burden of duty. Heaney, life presents us with unforeseen difficulties. Daughter 1, Mom, what's bothering you? You appear anxious. Heaney, our company is experiencing a severe setback. Sales have decreased as a result of the unexpected economic slump, which is threatening our capacity to maintain our financial stability. Daughter 2, oh no, how difficult. You've put so much effort into developing this company, Mom. It makes sense that you feel the pressure of accountability. Heaney, I'm afraid of losing what we've accomplished. It's overwhelming and makes us feel like we've lost everything. Daughter 1, Mom, do you remember when we had to overcome hardships? We have a strong family. Together, we'll figure out how to get through this. Heaney, life can put our fortitude to the test, even when we believe we have overcome our past and found stability. First daughter, Mom, what's going on? You appear distressed. Heaney, the recent economic crisis has severely impacted our company. Sales are dropping off quickly, endangering our very existence. Daughter 2, well, Mom, that's a heavy blow. Given how far we've come, it's only reasonable to feel the weight of responsibility. Heaney, I'm concerned about losing everything we've accomplished. We are once again being stretched to the limit. Daughter 1, Mom, we've always managed to overcome difficulties. Let's combine our resources to develop a strategy. We will overcome this, as we always have. Heaney, when I believed we had triumphed over our previous obstacles, a new barrier appeared, putting our resiliency to the test. Daughter 1, Mom, what's bothering you? You appear worried. Heaney, the unexpected economic downturn is having a significant negative impact on our business. Sales have drastically decreased, endangering the stability of our finances. Daughter 2, Mom, oh no. We have invested a great deal in this company. It makes sense that you're experiencing the pressure of accountability. Heaney, I can't eliminate the worry that we might lose everything we've achieved. It's a persistent concern that makes me feel quite heavy. Daughter 1, Mom, our family has overcome hardship and emerged stronger. Together, we'll meet this problem head-on. We'll come up with solutions and figure out how to get through this challenging period. Put your faith in our tenacity and tenacity. Chapter 9, Heaney resisted giving in to hopelessness. She rallied her daughters, Hona, and the devoted workers who had grown to feel like family, forming a unified front against the storm that threatened to destroy their company. Together, they came up with original plans for surviving the financial crisis. They broadened their product offerings, sought creative alliances, and investigated new markets. Heaney engaged the neighborhood by planning gatherings and partnerships to rekindle interest in their business. Heaney, despite the storm we are in, we won't let it break us. We've come too far to give up at this point. Daughter 1, Mom, your perseverance is admirable. At every step of the journey, we're at your side. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweetheart. Together, we are more robust, that is how we will handle this catastrophe. Let's get everyone together and come up with some suggestions to weather this financial storm. Hona, please include me, Heaney. We've developed a solid team here, and we can come up with original ideas to deal with this problem. Employee, Heaney, we're here to help. We've grown close and won't let our efforts go to waste. Heaney, I'm appreciative of each of you. Let's investigate new alliances, broaden our product selection, and re-establish contact with the neighborhood. Together, we can weather this storm and give our company new life. Heaney, this setback won't define who we are. We are strong and will overcome the financial crisis to prosper. Daughter 1, Mom, your perseverance is extremely inspiring. We'll be by your side the entire way. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweetheart. Let's all come together and discuss ways to get through these trying times. Hona, Heaney, I'm here to stand by your side. We've had challenges in the past and always managed to get beyond them. Employee, Heaney, please include us. We're a close-knit group and won't allow our company to fail. We'll battle to keep it alive. Heaney, I appreciate your steadfast support. Think outside the box, look for new alliances, and venture into unexplored territory. We'll rekindle consumer interest in our brand and emerge victorious. We can accomplish this as a team. Heaney, we will survive this storm. We'll figure out a way to get through it and emerge stronger. Daughter 1, Mom, your tenacity is amazing. We'll support you and deal with this situation head on. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweetheart. Let's get together as a team and devise some creative solutions to this economic crisis. Hona, Heaney, I'm right here with you. We'll think outside the box to get through this storm and develop innovative solutions. We're all in this together, employee, Heaney. We created something unique, and we won't allow it to fall. We'll need help to keep our company. Heaney, I appreciate your steadfast support. Let's collaborate and host events to interact with the neighborhood, look for new markets, and rekindle interest in our brand. Together, we'll use this chance to restore our company and weather this crisis. Even though the trip was complicated and had many sleepless nights, Heaney's steadfast determination and her team's tenacity started to produce fruitful results. They gradually began reclaiming their market share but definitely gave their company new life. Chapter 10. As the firm started to feel more stable, Heaney's heart was deeply burdened by personal anguish. Her health suffered due to the stress of running a tricky business while also fulfilling the duties of a mother and grandmother. Burnout and exhaustion crept in, posing a threat to the gains she had achieved in her recovery process. Heaney, it all feels like it's getting too heavy. It's difficult for me to balance running the business, being a mother, and being a grandmother. Daughter 1, Mom, we can see how diligent you've been. Recognizing when you need to look after yourself is acceptable. Heaney, my dear, you're right. My life needs to be balanced, and I need to put my health first. Second daughter, Mom, we're here for you. Lean on us and allow us to be there for you while you travel this path. Heaney, I appreciate it, my loves. I'm starting a journey of self-care and introspection. To continue being the most excellent version of myself for all of you, I want to take care of my physical and emotional health. Heaney, I'm beginning to feel the strain of my obligations. I must figure out how to bring harmony into my life. Mother, you've been carrying a lot on your shoulders, says daughter 1. Setting your health as a top priority is crucial. Heaney, my dear, you're right. I can't keep forgetting about myself. I need to step back and concentrate on taking care of myself. Daughter 2, Mom, we're here to help. Let's build a network of people who encourage you and constantly remind you of your strength. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweethearts. I'm prepared to go out on a voyage of contemplation with your support and the support of our loved ones. It's time to give my physical and emotional wellness priority. Heaney, I'm starting to feel worn out and burned out. It's time for me to step back and put my health first. Mom, you've been giving everything to everyone else, says daughter 1. It would help if you always refuel your energy. Heaney, my dear, you're right. I can't keep forgetting about myself. I must strike a balance that enables me to look after my well-being. Daughter 2, Mom, we're here to help. Let's envelop you in affection and remind you of your inner fortitude. Heaney, I appreciate it, my loves. I'm starting a journey of self-care and introspection. It's time for me to put my physical and emotional health first so I can still be here for all of you. Heaney started a road of meditation and introspection after realizing the value of self-care. She put her emotional and physical health first as she worked to achieve balance in her life. She surrounded herself with a network of friends and family who would encourage her and be a constant source of strength. Chapter 11. Heaney became a symbol of hope through her trials and victories, not just for those traumatized but also those attempting to navigate life's difficulties. She was transparent about her flaws and troubles, showing people that it was acceptable to experience challenges and ask for assistance. Heaney started working with neighborhood mental health organizations to promote more funding and assistance for trauma survivors. She committed her life to spreading awareness about the lasting effects of past trauma and the value of self-care and healing. Heaney, I've come to understand that there is more to my trip. I wish to serve as a source of inspiration for those facing comparable difficulties. Daughter 1, Mom, you inspire me with your strength. How do you intend to change things? Heaney, I want to work with regional mental health groups and promote improved aid and assistance for trauma survivors. Daughter 2, wow, Mom, that's amazing. Your voice has the power to alter our neighborhood significantly. Heaney, I appreciate it, my loves. I wish to spread awareness about the effects of earlier events and the significance of self-care and recovery. It's time to spread the message that people are not alone and that asking for assistance is a show of strength. Heaney, I've seen that my hardships can be turned into something worthwhile. I wish to serve as a source of inspiration for struggling people. Daughter 1, Mom, you can change lives. How do you intend to carry that out? Heaney, I want to work with regional mental health groups and promote more funding and assistance for trauma survivors. Daughter 2, wow, Mom, that's fantastic. Others may be motivated to look for assistance and healing by your path. Heaney, I appreciate it, sweetheart. I want to spread the word about the lasting effects of past experiences and the need to prioritize mental health. It's time to spread the word so that people understand they are not alone in their challenges and that there is hope for a better future. Heaney, I've understood that my experience can inspire others facing similar challenges. Daughter 1, Mom, your grit and perseverance can change things. How will you communicate your journey? Heaney, I want to work with neighborhood mental health organizations to expand the services and assistance available to trauma survivors. Daughter 2, wow, Mom, that's amazing. Your voice has the power to improve the lives of so many others. Heaney, I appreciate it, my loves. I wish to promote awareness of the value of self-care and the lingering impact of past events. It's time to demonstrate to others that recovery is possible and that asking for help is a brave move. Heaney's business grew again over time, propelled by her tenacity and the enduring love of her family. It persisted in thriving, serving not just as a representation of style and craftsmanship but also as proof that the human spirit is resilient in the face of adversity. Chapter 12 A fog of secrecy and unspoken realities lingered as Heaney's story of resiliency and success developed, posing a threat to the delicate balance she had worked so hard to create. Lies and dishonesty had formed a tangled web about to come undone deep inside the fabric of her life. A stranger appeared in the small town where Heaney lived one fateful day. Heaney's life was irrevocably changed by the instability his arrival unleashed, revealing dark revelations and long-buried secrets. Do you identify as Heaney? I've been trying to find you. Heaney, I am, indeed. What do you want? Who are you? My name is John, the stranger. I've come here because I made a discovery that your family should know about. Dark revelations and long-kept secrets must be made public. Heaney, with caution, secrets. What are you referring to? John, Heaney, your family has been caught in deceit and lies. You ought to know the truth. Heaney, worried, don't hold back, please. Tell me all there is to know. I'm ready to handle whatever that comes my way. The mysterious man identified himself as a private detective enlisted by an unnamed source to investigate Heaney's past. He presented information that undermined the image of her adored father and exposed a frightening truth that had been kept a secret for many years. It was discovered that Heaney's father, the epitome of success and respectability, had engaged in illicit activities that had tragically resulted in Heaney's mother's passing. Heaney had been plagued by memories that were more than just the result of her sadness and loss, instead, they were the remains of a skillfully built facade that covered an unbearable truth. Heaney was overcome by the revelation's impact in a way she never anticipated. She was left breathless and confused as the weight of betrayal and the revelation of her past tore through her like a whirlwind. The difficulties she had faced and the healing she had sought all appeared to disintegrate under the pressure of this startling revelation. Heaney, mixed with sorrow and rage, how could my family's falsehoods turn society against me? I'm being held to a standard for which I had no power. Heaney, it's sad that societal prejudices frequently make the hurt brought on by family secrets worse. Remember that their opinion doesn't determine your value or render your path ineffective. It's simply so overwhelming, Heaney. I put much effort into repairing my life and discovering forgiveness and solace. It appears to have been in vain now. Therapist, Heaney, recovery is a nonlinear process. This realization may feel like a setback, but it doesn't undo the gains you've achieved. Spend this time concentrating on your health and encircling yourself with people who care about you. You are a strong person who will figure out how to regain your strength. Additionally, society rejected Heaney. The little community that had once provided for her now spoke in judgment and condemnation. They found it difficult to reconcile their impressions of her and her family with the terrible reality that had come to light. Heaney discovered herself abandoned, a victim of her father's misdeeds and societal preconceptions. Chapter 13, Heaney drew on the depths of her fortitude in the face of hardship and social ridicule. She was determined not to let her father's deeds define who she was or how she would live. She started a journey of self-discovery and redemption with the help of her devoted companion Hona. Hona, I can't allow this realization to break me, Heaney said. I won't let my father's transgressions define me. Hona, Heaney, you're right. Much more than that, you are. Every day I am inspired by your grit and tenacity. Heaney, I want to utilize my voice to call attention to the wrongs that other people have experienced. I want to stand up for individuals who have been marginalized. Hona, Heaney, you can effect change. Your experience can illuminate the darkness that other people have faced. Together, we can change things. Heaney, the road ahead is difficult, but I won't allow people's contempt to stop me. I'll speak up so that people who have been wronged might receive justice. Heaney, we are inspired by your boldness and tenacity. Your experience can start a movement and motivate others to speak up against the oppressive. Heaney, I've discovered that the only way to end the cycle is to reveal the truth and publicize the unjust practices. Nobody ought to be forced to suffer in silence. Activist, Heaney, we support you. Together, we shall unravel these webs of deceit and build a society where justice and truth reign. Heaney, this journey of redemption belongs to all who have been silenced and betrayed, not just me. Up until their voices are heard, I won't give up. Supporter, Heaney, you inspire me with your grit and tenacity. You are a ray of hope for so many people who have endured suffering in silence. Heaney, it's time to confront the structures that support injustice and corruption. In the face of difficulty, I won't give up. Supporter, you have our support, Heaney. We can effect the long overdue change if we work together. Your account will start a fire for fairness and compassion. Heaney devoted herself to advocacy work, taking on the role of a spokesperson for individuals who had been victimized by the ruthless and influential. She used her experience as a springboard to expose the structural inequities that ruined her life. As she worked relentlessly to unravel the webs of deceit and tyranny that ensnared others around her, the struggle she faced in society catalyzed change. Tragic events once more occurred as Heaney's quest for justice and redemption gained momentum. Heaney's unrelenting search for the truth put an influential person in danger, so they plotted a nefarious scheme to put an end to her. Heaney's life was tragically cut short, breaking the hearts of many who had grown to appreciate her for her bravery and tenacity. Hona, I can't believe she's gone, she was so special. Heaney was an absolute powerhouse, and her legacy will last forever. Friend, numerous lives were impacted by her strength and tenacity. Even in the face of peril, she persisted in her pursuit of justice. Hona, tragically, she lost her life at a time when she was having such a significant influence. But her death cannot be allowed to be in vain. Friend, you are correct. We must continue the struggle for justice and the truth in her honor. We should continue Heaney's legacy, she would desire it. I can't believe what happened to Heaney, a community member said. She served as an example for all of us. Supporter, she dared to shed light on our society's seediest crevices because of the strength of her voice. We have to make sure that she keeps working. Community participant, it is a stark reminder that speaking out against the establishment can be dangerous. But we cannot be silenced by fear. Supporter, without a doubt. Heaney demonstrated the importance of standing up for what is right, even in peril. Let's unite to seek justice to preserve her spirit. Youthful activist, I was greatly affected by Heaney's tale. Her pursuit of justice and the truth has inspired me. She was a real heroine who dared to confront the powerful and unearth hidden realities. Her legacy must continue, and we must work to ensure that no one is silenced. Young activist, it's a big responsibility, but I will take it on. The sacrifice made by Heaney won't be forgotten. Mentor, we'll carry on the work she started together. Like she was, we'll speak for those who have no voice. As we work to create a more fair and transparent society, Heaney's spirit will lead us. The unexpected death of Heaney shocked the neighborhood and the rest of society. Her journey, which had previously been full of optimism and tenacity, came to a bittersweet close with unresolved conflicts and unrealized hopes. However, her legacy lasted, spurring a new generation to stand up and carry the torch of justice and truth, never swearing once more to let the struggles and secrets of the past be buried in silence. The epilogue, the echo of courage. Even though Heaney's life was dark and turbulent, it left a lasting impression on the globe. Her societal problems, the betrayal she experienced, and the stunning twist to her tale served as a reminder of the widespread injustices that continue in the back rooms of power. The struggle for truth, perseverance, and cultural transformation went on in her memory. The world discovered through the echoes of her bravery that, even amid unfathomable suffering, one person's voice could kindle a spark of transformation that blazes brilliantly long after they are gone.